On paper, this championship is certainly an interesting one. Francois Martel is 3 out of 4 with a disqualification in Brands Hatch, while his title rival Alex Abetty has shown immense consistency with a podium in every single race. In the Sportsman Cup, it's a 2-point lead between Matt Grove and back-to-back race winner Benjamin Gay, as the French Canadians are looking to sweep both championships. At the conclusion of the evening, we will see crossed flags passing halfway on this season. With the short bullring layout of the Atlanta being utilized, we wonder what will happen in Georgia. We'll find out together tonight. The Atlanta Grand Prix is next.
Sorry about that.
Nah, it wasn't me.
Our venue for this evening is virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. Opened in 1960, North American Simulated Auto Racing started visiting this circuit in 2018C. We utilized the shorter layout of the Rallycross circuit this evening. It runs a total of 0.68 miles in length with 9 corners in total, 6 to the right and 4 to the left. That makes 10. I know how to do math. As it uses the interior portion road course of this circuit. The lap begins with a touch of the brakes, gliding the car through the slalom of turns 1, 2, and 3. Be wary of the sausage curves at all points in this section. Rounding turn 4 with the Joker decision here. Over 9 seconds is gained and it spits you back near the grid, bypassing the technical fishbowl. Banked, double apex, and it's very inviting. Nearly impossible to make a pass here cleanly. Exiting the fishbowl around the sweeper of turn 8. Stay close to the wall on driver's left to get the best possible entry into the final 2 corners of turns 9 and 10. After 10, we go over the tabletop jump to go past the start-finish line and complete a lap here in Atlanta. Our format for NASA Rallycross is as follows. 19 cars will be split into 4 heat races, 6 laps apiece, Joker lap once. The top 2 will transfer to the feature. Winner gets 3 bonus points, and the runner-up gets 2. And the rest of our competitors will be funneled into the semifinals, 5-lap races, Joker lap once. Their winners will transfer and receive a bonus point. This sets the grid for the 10-car, 10-lap feature race where the points are awarded and trophies are handed out. Unique to NASA Rallycross, 2 Jokers are taken during the feature. The 28th season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge continues tonight on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan, Sawyer, the production truck, 2-time series champion Cody Erdmann down in the studio, and 5-time series champion Philip Kraus next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to the Atlanta Grand Prix. Our series is brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution, and for more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Our coverage all season also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Our cameras for the entire season provided by TrackCams22.com. And finally, our intro music was produced by our very own Alex Abetty. Philip Kraus, former winner here actually. Francois has won every race except for the disqualification in Brands Hatch. So what's your thoughts of that and this track since you are a former winner here?
Yeah, definitely. If I was Alex Abetty right now, I was just going through my mind a bit. Sure, you've podiumed every race so far this season, but knowing that Francois has a big fat 0 in one of the rounds this season, he's only 7 points behind you because he's won the rest of them. You know you got to perform today. Another podium probably won't cut it. You need to beat Francois Martel on the track in order to give yourself some confidence, really. And speaking of this layout, oh God, what a difficult layout it is, Josh. You mentioned in the pre-race show, extremely difficult to overtake. You get funneled in turn 1 off the start. You just kind of hope you survive that. And then it's all down to the Joker strategy, really, because it is so hard to pass here. You don't really get any chances.
As you'll see on Saturday on ASN On Demand, the lights race that was here yesterday, myself and Bryan Sawyer had a bit of a squabble. It was a fantastic race in that, certainly a bull ring here in Atlanta. Cody Erdmann, 2-time series champion. Good evening to you, my friend, and what are you thinking about tonight?
Good evening. Yeah, we're here on, I would say, almost the street circuit version of the Atlanta Rallycross. Really tight. A lot of the corners are like one lane. You try going too wide, and it's going to end up poorly. So, should be an interesting night as we got Betty and Martel going out because they got a 7-point difference. So, every point's going to matter from here on out.
Take a look at the Drivers' Championship. Coming into the Atlanta Grand Prix, Alex Abetty, Francois Martel, former teammates, they are locked in to a points battle. Alex Abeti, 91 points. Francois Martel with 84. No Magnus Okenhaug here tonight. So saving Ragster, Matt Hartley, they are effectively tied for third. Hartley flying the flag for JC Simsport. Josh Clogg, McFarlane, Angie, Crosgrove, and Matt Grove rounding out the top 10. Sportsman Cup, 2 points between Grove and Gay in that championship. They are 20 ahead of Matt Morris as we are beginning qualifying here in Atlanta. The one thing I would like to see, or I'm curious to see, will defending champion Clogg have a resurgence in the 199 as he is down in 6th in points, gentlemen?
Yeah, it's been a difficult season for the defending champion, Josh, and I know a bit of you's itching to say it's because he didn't pick the #1 this season. But, yeah, he's not really had amazing pace, and he's been caught up in incidents. It's kind of a double whammy for Josh this season. It's almost like he just hasn't really had the time he'd want to practice and put things together as we're watching him now build up to his first qualifying lap.
As rounding through the fishbowl, one of the trickiest corners, if not the trickiest corner on this track. I mean, the first complex, the right-hander before the joker, the sweeper here, it's all super hard. And especially in the supercars, you don't gain much speed before you come down to the double apex, the final couple of corners, I should say. So let's take a look and see. Lap times are beginning to roll in, I think, as we end the first lap of qualifying. Clogg sets the bar, 36.199 for the man from Maryland. He is half a tenth up on Cody Crosgrove, 7/10 up on Benjamin Gate. Cody Crosgrove, another one you'll keep an eye out on in the lights race yesterday, but certainly
Steve Angie
amazing
shattered
pace.
the morale.
Angie,
4/10 quicker than Clogg.
3.5. Ragster goes quickest, 35.7. Here comes McFarlane at a 35.8.
That's what I was expecting from McFarlane, a 35.58. Because
We
they had
remember-
set 35.6s in practice, so I knew that 36.2 from Clogg wasn't really going to hold up, but that's not looking promising for the 199 right now. I mean, he's fourth, but to see that much of a pace gulf between him and pole position, that's got to dampen his prospects a little bit, Josh.
McFarlane, tentative pole position, but of course, Francois has not run a lap, nor has Abeti, so we'll have to keep an eye on those two. But
Francois.
McFarlane, one of the quickest cars here. Francois, I think, just set a lap.
Yeah, he just went fourth.
P4, 35.8 for the French-Canadian. Evan McFarlane, one of the quickest cars here, and has had brutal luck in the 0-4.
It's
Let's
kind
try
of
and
like his
find-
teammate Robbie Larill. They both always have outstanding pace, but they cannot catch any luck if they tried
Eddie,
to.
35.884 for car number 99. Our graphic a little bit, never mind. I know what I'm talking about. It's been a long day. As he is 5th, McFarlane still holds by 2/10 over Ragster.
I'd be interested to watch Martel as he's going to start his last lap
Martel
here.
P2 finishes his 2nd lap. He has that last lap in his pocket. McFarlane's done with his lap. So is Ragster. Where's
I think
Abeti?
Martel's given up. He's just practicing a joker.
Abeti's going to be the last man to finish his run, aside from Chris Wetz.
This
Wetz
will
is
be
not on
big.
track, though.
Because he's currently 5th, Josh. If he can improve, that'll put him on pole position for a heat.
He's got a lap left. Is he
Yeah, he
on
off track
track?
on lap 2. I think he might have jokered to build up to it. I wasn't watching him at the time, but he is on track, Josh.
As my
We're watching
cameras
right
were
now.
just a little behind on my feed, into the fishbowl, holding the red plate in the 99. Good luck from Francois Martel to Evan McFarlane, as McFarlane only has one man left to knock him off of pole position in heat number 1, and it is this man, the tie driver, Alex Abeti. Final corner for the 99, over the jump.
It looked clean.
Thought it almost, he might have hit the wall. Crosses the line. 35.942, nowhere
It was
close to
clean,
pole.
but it wasn't fast enough, and that'll be 5th place. That's going to be big, because he's going to have to go up against Evan McFarlane in heat 1, Josh.
As it'll be McFarlane, Abeti, and if I'm doing that estimation right, it looks like Clogg, and I think Benjamin Gay, or no, Winecki.
Winecki.
So that's going to be,
Winecki and
fun-
then Rateau, I think, is the full grid.
that'll be a fun one to see. Cody, what are you thinking through qualifying?
One thing I'm noticing, lap time is very tight. We have a second between 1st and 11th. So, like, it's a pretty nice, like, little bit of a gap in between everyone. And in practice, so we had most of the field was like a 36 flat to a 36.5. So I think this is going to be a very much of a try to get a good start and then play the strategy right with traffic.
think it's going to be another great race for the sportsman race, for the points battle. Benjamin Gay 14th, Grove 15th, but Robbie Cartley in 8th. If I recall correctly, I think he's a sportsman driver.
Rakowski's in 12th as well, Josh.
So that's going to be Rakowski sportsman driver, and Kirtley is not. So Rakowski ahead of basically her title rivals. So let's take a look and get confirmation. Wetz did not complete his run. So McFarland, Martell, Ragster, Angie, Betty, the top 5. So grid 4, heat number 1, McFarland, Betty, Clog, Winecki, Rateau. 3 fast guys in this race. And the start here, like I kind of mentioned,
The start is everything.
it's everything in this track because the sweeper is slightly banked, and you're off camber on this start. So,
And it's
going to be
not
interesting.
it's not like the long layout either, because they moved the starting line for the long layout a while back. You start on the dirt here, and if I remember right, the inside or far right gets the best launch, but I might be wrong. I think when I won here, I shot out like a cannon from the middle on Connor Parisi.
Won't spoil anything too much.
One joker, folks. One joker.
But it is the middle is the best run. But we'll have to take a look and see. Getting ready for heat 1, 6 laps. Joker wants a Betty. Looks like he pulled from the start just a bit. Green flag off the line. He does get the start in the first phase. Comes across contact with him and McFarland, not giving up a Betty into the wall. In the 99 around is Clog. And Clog, I think, fell out of the track. So he is out on the start here in Atlanta. A Betty on the wall.
Massive damage to a Betty. He's got like 90 degrees of steering damage, Josh. If he makes it
car's
through
not
this
turning.
heat, that'll be a miracle.
Winecki in the transfer. Rateau sneaking in on the 99. And McFarland does not joker. Will it Betty? He's trying to. He misses it into the wall in the 99. The points leader.
Yeah,
And that's going to be to the semifinal.
That was almost inevitable, knowing the amount of damage he had on the 99 car there, Josh. But yeah, car 99 and car 199 both out before we even complete a lap. Heat 1 is Evan McFarland's going to go over the jump and complete lap 1.
I can't believe that just happened on the first green flag of the evening.
I can.
I don't.
It happens so often at this track, Josh. I think the biggest crashes we've ever had in NASCAR Rallycross, at least on lap 1, have been at Atlanta. So I remember there was a debate a few seasons back, like, do we just remove this calendar forever because the starts are so chaotic, and you just get into a meat grinder when you get through turn 1. If someone's turned there, you're in a meat grinder. There's nowhere to go.
McFarland begins lap number 3. Cody Winecki sits in a transfer spot now, and Olivier Rateau in the 63. And on my screen, it showed Clog teleporting out of the track before he even left the asphalt. So I don't know what had happened there. McFarland in the 04 Joker's not missing anything, really. So we ride on board Winecki in the 903. Sorry, Phil, go ahead.
I was just saying I'll have to check that back. But yeah, on my end, he also disappears before he flies into the parking lot. But I know that I remember Jacob Kraus getting stuck in that parking lot before when he was about to transfer into a final because I was cheering him on. But yeah, I'm guessing that's what happened in iRacing, just made him disappear a bit early. He's going to go back out on track in the 199, it looks like, from the timing and scoring. So that'll help him for his LCQ positioning.
Wants to beat a Betty to get that extra grid spot. And you never know, there could be a catastrophic incident to end up with someone else in the pit lane. So we'll just have to wait and see. Cody, I want to get your opinion on that start. See if you echo the meat grinder phrase that Phil mentioned there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was saying in the intro there, that this track is a lot like a street course where once a pileup starts happening, you have nowhere to go, especially through that first couple corners. So it's that real funnel effect right off the start. So gonna have to watch out for especially the feature. I think the feature is gonna be the worst.
So McFarland, Winecki, Rateau, obviously that running order has not changed. Clog is ahead of a Betty. So a Betty will be on the back row of the semifinal, and this might give Clog maybe an extra row, at least an extra spot. So we talk about it every week, how crucial it is for the best of the rest spot, but especially between these two.
It'll be an extra row, I'm pretty sure, because last place from all the other heats, there's 19 cars. So he'll at least beat 3 cars, because I think it's a 5-5-5-4 heat format.
That would be 11 split into 2, so it'd be 6 and 5.
Yeah, I think he'll be ahead of a row most likely, as we're on the last lap, Josh.
As over the jump, very quiet after the turn 1 schmozzle, Evan McFarland, pole position for the Atlanta Grand Prix. Looks as though on the road that it's Josh Klog. It's not. It's Cody Wienecke in the 903 transferring best of the rest, Olivier Rateau. And just confirmation of 4th and 5th, Klog and Abedi, points leader, last for gridding for the semifinal. Heat number 2, and it's what Francois wants to see, starting from pole in Heat 2, Russell Peterson, Cody Cosgrove, Benjamin Gay, and Jake Robichaux. A couple sportsmen in this race. Benjamin Gay, back-to-back winner in the Sportsman Cup here in NASA Rallycross the last 2 weeks. So it looked like the middle had that start that you talked about, Phil, and then...
Yeah, he crested that little... There's a little lip there when you merge onto the track, and that's when Abedi lost all his momentum. Off the line, he was rapid, as we're going to be building up to the 5 red lights here, so I'll let you go through that, Josh.
6 laps, Joker ones. Interestingly, there's only one Subaru in this heat race. The rest are blue ovals. Top 2 transfer, green flag in Atlanta. Off the line, Martel blitzes Peterson in the first and second phases into the asphalt. Martel leads Peterson, checks him in the 59, Gay to the inside in the 53, rounding the second corner on the start. Benjamin Gay takes the spot. Cosgrove gets past Peterson, and the man from Illinois goes from 2nd to 4th on the first 2 corners of the race with Jake Robichaux in the back of the field. Let's take a look and see who will joker on the first opportunity. Will Martel in the 12 from the lead? He will. Benjamin Gay does. He thought about not doing it. Cosgrove doesn't. And Jake Robichaux does in the 69. Peterson follows the 18. Rounding the final corner on the first lap. Abedi doesn't want to see this, but Francois Martel out and away, Phil.
Yeah, it's not just a front row start for his for the feature either, Josh. It's a 3-point swing in the championship, which brings the gap down to 4 between Martel and Abedi, and that's assuming that Abedi makes the feature. He's going to be starting on the last row, as you said, for one of his LCQs, so that's not even a given. This is massive for the championship, for lack of a better word.
And I know I say these words verbatim, it's about a meme, basically a huge meme at this point, but anything can happen because it usually does, and Abedi crashing at the first time of asking into turn 1, and his title rival has the door kicked wide open with neon signs going off to take this championship lead. Cosgrove sits in 2nd. Looks like he got by Gay as he jokered in the 18. Martel sets fastest lap, 35.952 for the French-Canadian, so a couple Fords up front. Like we mentioned, the only Subaru is Peterson in the 59, and I don't believe he has jokered yet.
Yeah, he hasn't jokered yet, Josh, but that's only going to move him up to 4th. He's going to be racing Jake Robichaux off his joker merge. If I'm reading the delta right, it looked like it was 7.5, but it's cut down to 5.7 right now, so maybe it's one of those tracks where the delta really expands and contracts, so I have no clue, but just speaking about the Fords and Subarus, Josh, did you expect the Blue Ovals to shove that Subaru to the side so aggressively on the first lap?
I didn't expect that, and well, it's good to see that there's some manufacturer teamwork, as we have Subaru for so long as basically the control manufacturer, winning every single race, and Ford representing in this heat race. Peterson does not joker. He was far driver's left, Phil. That usually means you commit to the joker, but he compromised his entry basically into the fishbowl there.
I like the strategy from him, though. He's got so much clean track in front of him. Why joker? Just wait for the last lap. Make up as much time on the clear track as you can and see where you merge out. Because at the end of the day, at that point, if you don't get into a transfer spot, it's all on you. You can't blame like, oh, there was traffic in my way, or oh, I got in a battle, or something like that. No, I just didn't have the pace to make it into the feature.
Martel, last lap, was a second faster than the rest of the
Russell
field.
Peterson jokers.
Peterson jokers, comes out behind Gay.
Right with Gay.
This is going to be a battle for 3rd. He will not, doesn't look like, get the transfer as we take the white flag. Still long time left. Cutting the track at the 59 into the wall. If that's not a slowdown, that's going to be left rear damage for sure. It is pointing the wrong direction.
Yeah, that might kill his chances of finishing 3rd in this heat. He's only got half the lap, and that's a massive gap to bridge. He's going to have to hope for Benjamin Gay to go wide for the fishbowl, and as you mentioned, really difficult corner.
The sweeper for the final time. Back out onto the asphalt for the final couple of corners. Jake Robichaux around 69, crossing the jump for the final time. Francois Martel 3 points up, wins heat number 2. Crosgrove transfers, best of the rest, Benjamin Gay in the 53.
Good race, Benjamin.
Yeah, good race.
Is I got a couple little tidbits for you guys here. One, that was honestly implication of the Sportsman Cup because you had 2 Slapex drivers trying to hold out Benjamin Gay. And then also in the Heat 1, that was Winecki's first transfer into a feature this season. So,
Yes, thank you for the facts there, Mr.
Good
Cody
luck,
Erdmann.
everybody. Remember, one joker.
Ragster, Hartley, Dubois, Grove, and Wetz. So Dubois, Grove, Wetz, all sportsman cars. 1 Pudgy's racing car, 1 JC Simsport car as we get ready for heat number 3. A couple big names already in the semifinals. And we're halfway through the heat races here in Atlanta. Green flag, off the line, even start between Hartley and Ragster, down to the first corner, exiting the dirt under the asphalt. Ragster checks Hartley in the 50 and pushes him wide. Grove to the inside of Ragster, couldn't make anything happen. 50's back going again. Wetz and Dubois battling.
Good on you, Ragster.
And Matt Hartley, always fiery over the radio. 1 car around in the back, it's Dubois in the 034. I think he came together with Wetz. He did. As Wetz mentioned, fair warning, I have about 6 seconds of experience and 0 laps on this wheel. Jokering is Hartley in car number 50. Grove looked like he jokered in the 472. Ragster did not. At the end of the first lap, Sportsman points leader Matthew Grove will lead ahead of Hartley, Phil.
You know the worst thing about that contact at turn 1, Josh?
What is that?
It was neither of their faults. That was one of the biggest air bubbles I've ever seen. It threw Matt Hartley right into the wall. But that's just what happens when you have an American racing up against an Australian. That 250 ping difference, those air bubbles are so much more exaggerated than they usually would be, Josh. But there was a good quarter of a car length between those 2 drivers, and it just it shot Hartley off into the wall and probably dampened his chances of making the feature pretty significantly.
As in the back of the field, Dubois passing Wetz. Ragster has not jokered yet in the 91 to end lap 2. Matthew Grove trying to make this feature as last race. Benjamin Gay did not. Matt Hartley sets fastest lap. Ragster clips the curb in the 91. I was just flicking through the field. So Gay is not in the feature. Grove, of course, before the Joker rotation, tentatively is in the feature, so that would be crucial for him because we've mentioned before, Phil, he carries those bonus points that he scores here into the Sportsman Cup.
Yeah, and it looks like the battle for the transfer, it's going to be between our top 3 cars, Grove, Hartley, and Ragster. It looks like Dubois and Wetz are too far back. Speaking of Wetz, we really need to send him off to the paint shop and get him something nicer than that teal car. But anyway, I'm getting a little distracted here. What happened with Ragster? That gap looks like it's closed up massively to Matt Hartley. That's under 2 seconds now.
I know. Ragster clipped the curb in turn 1 the previous time around, pushing very hard in the 91. He has not jokered yet, and he does not joker. So Grove and Hartley might be battling for a transfer. We know Hartley's fast. Will he close up? Dubois jokers in the 034. He comes out behind Ragster in the 91.
Fast, but I think Hartley is damaged from that start incident, Josh. I'm not sure on that, though. Sorry to cut you off like that.
No worries. 2 laps to go for Matthew Grove as we ride on board Ragster, the man from California, chasing down the man from Australia, Matt Hartley. And will Ragster joker in the 91? He does not. He's going to wait till this last lap to make something happen and steal the transfer away from, it looks like, Matt Hartley in the 50.
Yeah, if there's no reason for Ragster the Joker, he sees the 2 cars he has to beat right in front of him, and he knows the Joker delta here is 9 seconds, as you mentioned in the pre-race. But it's going to be a tall order for Matt Hartley to get to Matthew Grove here. He was 6/10 quicker last lap, but that gap is well over 6/10.
He's going to run out of time. And it's unfortunately, it wasn't on either driver. It was just, as you mentioned, the ping between Australia and California, and especially because the servers are in Massachusetts. So internet limitations, Ragster jokers will take the lead of heat number 3. And Matty Grove, barring any horrible incident in the last couple of corners, he'll get these 2 points, and that's crucial for him in the Sportsman Cup. Off the final corner, Ragster will win heat number 3. Final corner for Grove in the 472 over the jump, and the man from Pennsylvania transfers through the feature, best of the rest, former champion Hartley in the 50.
Great race, guys. Great race. Mr. Matt, you had me sweating, buddy.
There's Dubois and Wetz rounding out the order in the 034 and the 71. Raxter celebrating already in true NASA fashion, doing a donut for winning heat number 3. And heat number 4 getting ready. Here in Atlanta, everyone just driving out their finish. And that'll basically make the Drivers' Championship 4 points, and the Sportsman Cup also 4 points. Betty leading that, leading drivers, and Grove leading sportsmen. So both championships looking spicy as we take a look at the grid for the 4th and final heat race here in Hampton, Georgia. 4 cars: Steve Angie, Robbie Kirtley, Jess Rakowski, and Matthew Morris. So 3 Subarus and 1 Ford for Morris.
I haven't seen Robbie Kirtley's car before. I really like that. That is a beautiful car.
I haven't either.
For 1 Joker.
And if that's the same Motorless Motorsport, he is driving for a former championship-winning team in the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge. They won with Hartley in 2020A. So we'll have to keep an eye on the 024 here in heat number 4. 6 laps, Joker once. Green flag off the line. Angie blitzes the front row. No contest between him and anybody else. Down to the first corner. Morris to the inside. Kirtley gets passed by Morris and Rakowski. Nearly contact between them. Rakowski in the 999 nudges the 24 over the jump for the first time to begin the first lap. And I might have jinxed Kirtley there in the 024. Commentator's curse, but Steve Angie trying to do exactly what Raxter did here and take the lead and hold it. See who will joker on the first lap. Angie will. Rakowski does not look like she was going to, but Kirtley doing something different. Take the clear track fill and try and get ahead of the transfer rivals here, Matt Morris and Jess Rakowski.
Yep, really smart from Kirtley. That really heads-up driving from him to realize, hey, these 2 cars in front of me, I was quicker than them in seating. We don't know if that'll be the case in the race, obviously, but in his mind, he's like, I was quicker than these 2 cars in seating. I want the clear track. So he shot for the Joker when he saw that Rakowski wasn't, and now it's up to them to answer him and take the Joker on lap 2.
As we talked about that, he dropped the left rear into the dirt, or into the grass, into turn 1, and saved the car from a very big slide. We'll see Morris does not joker, nor Rakowski does in the 999. So wherever does she come out? She will come out side by side, taking the spot.
Oh, that was close.
In the 024, the driver from Maryland takes the spot.
I know someone in this commentary box who loves to see that, Josh. He's being a little quiet right now, but I know Cody Erdmann's cheering on Jess Rakowski.
He might have his commentator headset off, and he might have his team owner headset on, which is perfectly fine. Rakowski clips the curb in turn 1. I tried to do that with Hartley. Runs it wide, does Rakowski. Kirtley sneaks to driver's right. Can't make anything happen.
Nowhere to overtake here. You have to shove it up the inside of the fishbowl if you want to.
Rakowski misses the first apex, misses the second apex, leaves the door
Has
wide
the inside
open
for
for Kirtley.
It's gonna have to be It's gonna have to be a send in the penultimate corner, Josh. He's setting up for it.
And taking cross flags is Steve Angie out front. We're not missing anything there. I don't believe that Morris has jokered either. So, Phil, these guys are squabbling. This is going to open the door for Morris, as it looks like Rakowski pulls about a car length and a half over Kirtley. Kirtley was a little messy over the jump there.
Yeah, just speaking of that, Josh, I just looked. Matthew Morris, quicker than these 2 by over half a second last lap, Josh. This squabbling's exactly what he wanted to see.
Fishbowl again. Kirtley's slide got compromised. You really don't want to slide these cars too far. And Kirtley was driving a road car in dirt, basically, through the fishbowl. Rakowski compromised into the penultimate corner. 2 to go for Angie up front. Not missing anything, like I said. Sequential Sim Sport versus Motorless Motorsport. Both race-winning and championship-winning squads in this championship. And Rakowski hanging strong in the 999. Morris, keep an eye on that lap time for me, Phil. It looks like he's going to gain time. Rakowski runs it wide in turn 4.
Slower that time than Kirtley, but quicker than Rakowski.
Kirtley is getting impatient. Rakowski opens the door. Will Kirtley take the spot? They've got together in the fishbowl. And Morris, if they can't get refired, Morris is going to take the spot. He still has to joker. Kirtley in 4th now. White flag for Angie. And like I said, if something happens, Matthew Morris in the catbird seat.
Yeah, I think either way he was probably going to get by, but that's just the nature of this track, Josh. He sent it in the fishbowl. Rakowski went wide, and they just got stuck together, and they crashed.
As question over radio, we'll have to wait and see if there's a reply, or if Jess Rakowski chooses to just focus on the race. Morris will take to the Joker in the 24 and comfortably take the transfer spot as Steve Angie off the final corner will over the jump, and one slice of pizza will join the other in the feature here in Atlanta. And transferring is Morris, best of the rest, Rakowski in the 999. Currently in the 024 in the back of this heat race, and we'll just have to take a look at the grid for the first semifinal. 5 laps Joker wants. Olivier Rateau on pole, Matt Hartley, Josh Clog. Oh my, Phil, this is huge. Hartley, Clog, Abedi in the same semifinal, and only one car will transfer.
Everybody, one.
I'll tell you what, the
Joker
people
in
on the other.
last chance qualifier here. One Joker, please.
Sorry, is Matthew Grove.
Good luck to you all.
5 championships in this race,
yeah.
Phil.
This is gonna be massive, but everyone in the other semifinal loves to see that they're all in this one.
We get ready. 5 laps. Rateau jumps the start a bit. Not sure if that's going to be a penalty. Green flag. Abedi gets a great jump compared to Hartley and
The inside
Clog.
just did not move.
Abedi the inside gets a bump from Hartley through turn 1, through turn 2. Very clean. Are the former champions nearly contact? Will there be net code? Unfortunately, no, but they did make contact. Abedi takes the lead on the start. Former champion and red plate holder ahead of defending champion and former champion Hartley. 3 cars under a blanket. Let's see who will joker on the first opportunity. No, Hartley does. In the 50, Clog is going to follow Abedi here in the 99. Clog gets compromised in the fishbowl here, Phil. Dubois exits the joker and crashes in turn 1. He is off the track, out of the way. Hartley, excuse me there, leads at the end of the first lap. I'm just trying to keep an eye on these two, Phil. What's going to happen?
I just can't. I'm still shocked that Alex Abedi went from last to first off that tiny little runway into turn 1, Josh. Like, I know the inside didn't move too much, but that is insane to me.
He does not joker. Clog jokers in the 199, runs it wide, pinches the grass, does not exit unsafely, but he comes out behind Hartley here.
And that's about how far behind Abedi he was. Hartley might be our net leader. There's a chance.
As, like we saw in the heat races, if anything goes wrong between these guys, Olivier Rateau minding his own business. 35.9 for Hartley. Let's take a look at Abedi's last lap. 36 dead.
That's one of the quickest laps we've seen during these heat races and LCQs, Josh. We've only seen quicker times during qualifying. I think he beats his qualifying time.
Abedi does not joker. Clog trying to take the fight to Hartley. The joker lap, we can't really compare it, so we'll have to wait and see as they cross the line to end the third lap. Take 2 laps to go in the first semifinal. Clog into the fence in the 199. Will he have gotten suspension damage? 36-0, 36-0, and where is Abedi, Phil? This is getting spicy. Let's take a look at the line. 36-1.
A 10th over the last 2 laps. And it looked like he was ropey to merge ahead of him already. This is going to be tense, Josh.
Hartley runs it wide.
That's not what I would have done if I was him.
Abedi jokers in the 99, takes the spot, right onto the dirt, he saves it. Coming to the white flag. Hartley
Crossover
in the 50, contact between them, and Clog goes to the lead.
That wasn't on.
You are serious, mate. You are serious. You're my hero, right? You are my fucking hero.
I'm not gonna lie, Hartley's echoing the thoughts that are going through my head right now. Betty just kind of drove through him.
Full transparency's sake, that's one of the reasons why Matt Hartley is one of my drivers. Reminds me of me when I get really angry. And Josh Clog looks like he's going to transfer. Hartley obviously is disconnected, and the championship leader is out. Tentatively, penultimate corner for Clog, final corner for Clog, defending champion, down on points. He's going to sneak through and be the 9th seed as best of the rest. Defending or championship leader, Abedi, out in the semifinal.
I put
Abedi 11th, sorry, Cody. 13th, Rateau. 15th, Hartley. 17th, Dubois.
My bad. I put in the chat earlier,
joker,
hashtag championship
One
implications
joker.
before that started. I did not expect that to happen.
Benjamin Gay, Rakowski, Peterson, Kirtley, Robichaux, Wetz. So this is 5 sportsman cars and then Russell Peterson. And if I take a look at the cars that have transferred, it's Matt Morris, Matt Grove, and Winecki for sportsman. So
I still
One of
can't
these
believe
guys.
that happened.
Yeah, I'm. My call was a little weak there because I'm still kind of shocked that the championship leader is out, and that's been a long time since I've said those words. At least I can think. 5 laps. Joker once, and another car transfers here in Atlanta. Green flag off the line. Even start from the first phase. Over the dirt hump, down to the first corner. Rakowski takes the spot. Gay to the inside. Rakowski checks Peterson as Gay gets turned by Rakowski and currently to the race lead. Peterson, Wetz, Robichaux, and this is huge for Benjamin Gay because if he doesn't transfer, he's going to be down the order to Matt Grove. Kirtley leads. Halfway through the first lap. Will we see a Joker? We will from the man from Virginia, the man from Illinois. Peterson does not. Man from Texas, Wetz does not. Robichaux from Canada does not. Rakowski from Maryland in the back of the field. After that incident, she does not Joker. So at the end of the first lap, Robbie Kirtley in the race lead, Phil.
Well, you know, we've seen more chaotic things tonight than that, but yeah, another turn 1 squabble catches people out, and Robbie Kirtley in the lead right now, and he's the only car who's joking. You know, just a quick mention to Chris Wetz, like 5 minutes of practice on that wheel before today's race. He's running third in this semifinal, Josh.
No, he said 6 seconds and 0 laps. He's gotten all his practice as in the heat race and this semifinal. He sits in third.
I hope he got good practice in his heats.
Ahead of Jake Robichaux in the 69. We ride on board Robichaux. The elder Robichaux, as we still miss Justin from the Rallycross ranks. You'll have him join me for the Sports Car Challenge next week in Sebring. Wetz and Robichaux still battling over the jump. We're not missing anything up front. Peterson has not jokered yet.
One of these cars has to joker this time, Josh. Sorry to cut you off again, but this is a gaggle.
No worries. Wetz runs it wide in the 71. Will they come together? Robichaux does not joker.
Nobody jokers.
Peterson doesn't in the front of the field, so we're not missing anything. This is a great battle for what is literally 12th place overall, or 14th place overall in this championship.
Every spot matters.
We say it every week. It's finally you that says it, not me. 2 laps to go for Robbie Kirtley, trying to make his, I think, his first feature in supercars.
Russell Peterson should be close, Josh. The Delta's 9 seconds, I believe, and he's 8.5 behind Kirtley.
Robichaux runs it wide in turn 1. We're still taking a look at this battle. Peterson does not joker. He's going to wait until the last lap.
You know the best part, Josh? Last time they ran identical lap times.
Jokering Robichaux, Wetz, and Rakowski does not, so no running order change.
Rakowski already had jokered.
They got ahead of Peterson. Wetz into the fence in the 71. He's going to get in the way of Peterson in the 59. Hold him up just a pinch.
It's going to be interesting to see these lap times. 36.5 for Kirtley. Peterson, 36.9. That cost him 4/10, Josh.
We'll have to take a look.
I think that might be what kills his hopes of the transfer.
Kirtley in the fishbowl, exiting the fishbowl. Peterson has to joker. Looks like he cut, and that might be it. Kirtley might sneak into this feature. Final couple of corners. Will Peterson send it deep on the brakes?
Kirtley's loose.
Slides it in the 0-24. He saves it. Peterson's got 1 corner left. Over the jump. Kirtley sneaks his way into a feature here in supercars. Best of the rest is Peterson in the 59. Wow.
Good race, Rowdy.
Oh, man. So scary at the end. I almost lost. Good race.
I had to back off either way because I had a penalty. Good win there. Good win.
This confirmation
That was netcode again.
of those results. Peterson, Robichaux, Wetz, Rakowski, Gay, the remaining cars in the running order. That is 12th down the order and the even positions. Wow. Qualifying is over. The feature race in Atlanta, Georgia is next. We'll be back shortly.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks. fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Side by side, nearly 3 wide of Matt and Palacio. Front bumper of Betty down to turn 2. Clog takes the lead. Real still has him jokered inside. Clog on McKenna. Contact between them. Well, Romain Rateau has led all evening long, but Schofield to the inside, and he makes it stick. Funny story about Bryan Sawyer. He showed up to the track 5 minutes ago with 0 practice, and each lap increasing in pace for the man from Wisconsin. Mertz deep on the brakes in the 812, clobbering the curve to get by Olivier Rateau. We welcome you back to round 241 of the championship overall and round 5 of the 28th season of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge here in Hampton, Georgia. With Bryan Sawyer in the production truck, 5-time series champion Philip Kraus next to me in the commentary box with 2-time series champion Cody Erdmann in the studio. My name is Josh Mertz as we are live on the Automotive Sports Network. Just a reminder, our series brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Coverage tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Our cameras for the entire season provided by TrackCams22.com, and our intro music produced by our very own Alex Abetti. Phil, Cody, I'll start with you, Phil. Give me a quick prediction before we get rolling.
Chaos, crashing, flipping, and some barbecues at turn 1. As I think we lost Josh temporarily. Are you there, Josh?
Mr. Clark, that is a yes. We are doing the full 10 for the break on the broadcast, sir.
That is why I had to run, because Clog typed in chat, and I don't think I can type in chat, so I had to do that. Buddy. As I didn't catch what you said. I heard barbecues.
Yeah, we're gonna need our full OSHA safety gear for turn 1, Josh. That's my prediction.
Okay, I got gloves, and I can get you a hard hat, and I can get you a respirator. I can get you everything. Yeah.
I don't think we'll need the respirator, but
well, there's smoke
else
coming from the cars.
Is
if
that
you
a
think
full 10 confirmed?
As
yes,
Thank you.
As Cody, who do you got?
Whoever makes it. Speaking of turn 1, it's gonna be whoever makes it out of turn 1. So it could be P1, it could be P10. Whoever makes it out, and then whoever probably Joker's has like the best strategy, and probably Joker's first will kind of set themselves up. So it's honestly, it's a crapshoot. We have 6 constructor cars and 4 sportsmen. So should be interesting night.
Cody, what is your prediction, Josh? I feel like you always ask for ours, but we never hear yours.
You know, you've said that exact sentence to me like the last 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and you don't say it usually. You find a way
working
to
on
weasel your way out of it, Josh.
No.
I need a solid prediction.
Full transparency, now that we're running a 10-minute warm-up and I don't have to scramble to get everything handled, I got time to think. So, Evan's quick. Francois is guaranteed the points lead because he's got 12 points to make up. As Grove, no, that's Crosgrove.
Can we make that the new Joker lap, Josh? 2-wheeling down the front stretch?
We can restart the NR division and I can make that happen. As predictions, Francois and Evan are going to be dueling, I think. We know Evan's quick, and I don't want to commentary curse or disparage or say anything bad, but we haven't seen the consistency from Evan McFarlane yet. There's always mistakes. We talked about in the break, Evan McFarlane and Robbie Larill are the new incarnation of Revolution Racing. Chris Wetz, Dylan Livingood, they're super fast, and then they always crash. There's no consistency.
I feel like a dark horse could be the car we're looking at right now on the big screen, Josh, Cody Wienecki. Not necessarily for a win, maybe, but for a podium. Wienecki's usually... He's got decent pace. He's a Team Watson driver, so he's running on the same setups that Francois was probably running on last season, so he's got a good car under him. It'll just be about delivering the result for him.
As we are looking... Sorry, Cody, go ahead.
All good. I was just going to say that Wienecki just went to a 35.7, which is 3rd in warm-up. And the other Cody, is also at a 35.7 in his Fiesta, so he could also be a dark horse here. If chaos ensues in the first couple corners, he gets through clean, we could see a first-time winner.
One thing we haven't mentioned, this track's so short, but it's been mentioned earlier in the season by Francois himself, but the Ford seems to be better on the fresh track, if I'm remembering right. So you could see the pendulum swing if Evan and Martel both survive lap 1, which, to be honest, I don't have good odds on that just because it's turn 1 in Atlanta short, but if they both survive, you could see the pendulum swing mid-race between those two cars as to who has the pace and who doesn't.
And we got Wienecki, we have Morris and Grove going for the Sportsman win and Sportsman podium this evening here in Atlanta. Grove's got the points lead. Coming into Sportsman, Morris is 20 points down on Grove, and Wienecki missed Norway, so he's way down in points. So Grove will still hold the points lead. His margin could be cut in half potentially. We'll just have to wait and see. It's just under a minute and a half until we begin gridding. McFarlane 2/10 up on Crosgrove, who is basically the same lap time as the other Cody Wienecki, and Francois 3/10 off of McFarlane. But like you mentioned, the Ford's better on a new track. So if I'm Francois, I mean, it all depends on turn 1, but from what I've...
It's all going to be that start for him, because he's middle. That seems to be the best line.
Start in turn 1. Through the week, when I practiced the official series, granted it was for lights, it wasn't for supercars, the middle was always beneficial, and again, won't spoil, but the middle was dominant last night, so it's going to be interesting.
If he can't clear McFarlane, I think we could be headed for fireworks turn 1.
Everybody's starting, practice starting, so... That's interesting to see. I think we're seeing a little bit more dynamic with this 10-minute warm-up. Maybe I'm just making words out of thin air, but...
You would never.
As Bryan Sawyer brings up the point in my ear that this is the only track that has a dirt start. So I guess that's a true point. It's not a frequently done thing.
And it's a different... type of launch you go through on the dirt. It's much more reserved, I would say, at least from when I was driving. Maybe the cars have changed. I doubt they really have, but it was definitely more reserved because you wanted to avoid the wheel spin off the line.
So just a note, Francois is the only winner at this track that's in this race because Hartley...
Good luck, everybody. Here in NASA, this is where it gets rowdy, and we do 2 Joker laps. 2 Joker laps in the feature. Thank you to everybody for being here, and congratulations making it into the feature.
Grid for the feature. McFarlane, Martel, Raxter, Angie, Wienecki, Crosgrove, Grove, Morris, Clog, and Kirtley. 10 cars, 10 laps, 2 jokers. And this first corner, absolutely chaos. Thank you for joining us in the Automotive Sports Network for round 5 of the 28th season as we get ready to go green in Atlanta. Green flag in Hampton, Georgia, off the line. Martell gets the start. Compared to McFarland, down to the first corner. He beats McFarland to the corner. McFarland's got his nose there. Contact into the wall goes Martell. 2 cars around. It's Angie up the front bumper of Winecki in the back of the field. Martell behind the 91 of Ragster as we begin the first lap. McFarland leading ahead of Ragster. Martell Crosgrove clips the dirt into Clog. Crosgrove gets past, clean through the back of the field. Who will joker on the first time of asking here in Atlanta? Ragster doesn't, Martell does. Get the clear track. Best thing you can do. Grove joker, so does Kirtley in the fishbowl. Contact with Ragster and McFarland. Clog in the 3rd spot behind those 2 on the road. At the end of the first lap, this is going to get interesting, Phil.
Martell with Angie at the wall. He's going to hold up these 2.
I didn't catch that. Thank you, Phil. As Angie gets
contact.
Hit, nearly.
This could be a team game thing. Ragster's down the inside of McFarland. This is going to get hairy in turn 1.
And
he backs
blows
out of it.
turn 1 completely. Was that potentially? Jokering is Kirtley in the 024 up front. I think Martell is not. So Kirtley will be leading on the road. Angie back on track. No, I think he parked it. I'm trying to find him on track. He has parked it.
Ragster joker. Second back from Martell.
As leading is Kirtley on the road ahead of Martell as we end the second lap. Ragster
8 for Martell.
Ragster, Grove, Crosgrove, McFarland, Clog, Winecki. So with and 1 joker left, Francois got 1. Ragster has 1. Crosgrove, Grove, they are battling. I think Grove just let his team car through. McFarland jokers for his first time of asking. He's going to come out battling with Ragster. Nearly contact between them. There's no number on the roof of the 91. I had to double check and see who it was. McFarland to second behind Martell here.
Yeah, that's exactly what Martell wants to see. These 2 battling for second on the road at least. But it'll be interesting to see when they take their second jokers, Josh, now that they've gotten through the first cycle, because I think you're just going to play it off traffic. At least that's what I would be doing.
One driver that we'll have to keep an eye on, and Cody, if you can keep an eye, McFarland jokers in the 04. He takes the lead on the road. Clog has not jokered in the 199. Will he do a Chris Wett strategy and take the jokers on the last 2 laps of the race? With this being such a shorter lap, that's a really good thing because you take the clear track once everyone jokers ahead of you.
I fully expect a Francois Martell answer to McFarland's joker this time by, Josh. But yeah, I think Clog, as long as he's got clean track in front of him, he's going to be just answering. I mean, he's just going to be jokering late, sorry.
Martell has to joker
yes,
now.
He does.
He does. There's no way that you would be stuck behind Kirtley. Exiting the joker on the merge, takes the lead in the 12.
That's a commanding lead for Francois Martell. I think he's actually made it bigger than it was last time.
Gap is 1.5 seconds over McFarland. Kirtley impressively still holds the 3rd spot on the road with both jokers done, but Ragster and Crosgrove, nobody else has taken their second joker yet. Winecki just exits the joker in the back of the field. He comes out behind Grove. We take halfway for Martell in the 12, 27.5. That was a joker lap, so we'll take a look here when the laps refresh with the regular course. But McFarland, 1.7 now. Looks like Martell is pulling away from the 04. Still no joker in the back of the field from Clog. Like I said, I think he's going to wait until the last couple laps. No joker for the man from Maryland just yet, defending champion.
Well, so I was just watching McFarland that last lap, and he's leaving a lot of margin to these walls, Josh, and he was half a second slower than Martell that last lap, so it's almost like he's settling for second.
We look on board the 903 Winecki battling with Grove. This is for the sportsman battle because Kirtley is a overall car, so we'll keep an eye. These 2 have a joker left, so this is getting spicy between these 2. We try and keep an eye on the race lead as well. Sorry, Cody, if you had something to say, but battles all over the track here. Clog jokers in the 199. He comes out in no man's land behind Ragster.
That'll be an amazing comeback drive for Josh
He ripped
Clog
the
as he
handbrake
throws
into the wall.
Right as I say comeback drive. That was a commentator's curse immediately.
Unless he missed the braking point, it's so easy to do, especially in the supercars, because you're coming so quickly compared to the regular course to make that braking point. But Clog's got a joker left. I think he'll pip Ragster. He might come out in front of Crosgrove. We'll just have to wait and see. Coming to 2 laps to go, Martell in the 12. This battle for the sportsman race has not changed. Grove holds it over Winecki. Grove trying to get his second win of the season ahead of Winecki.
I think it might be over for the overall win between McFarlane and Francois Martel. Martel's just been quicker than him every single lap this race, Josh.
Through the fishbowl, 36-1 to a 36-4. Sorry, Cody, go ahead.
As Winecki and Grove are both on the same strategy, they've taken one joker so far, so in these last 2 laps, they both have to take another joker.
Will we see an alternating strategy? When one goes, the other doesn't alternate, or will they follow each other into the joker? Winecki takes the joker. Is that going to be a track cut? He's going to come out behind Clog in the 199. Will he pressure the 199? Martell already on the white flag lap here in Hampton, Georgia, ahead of Evan McFarlane. And Martell currently sits tied with Sindre Silva with 10 wins in the championship, 8th all time. McFarlane, Clog, jokers. He has to joker in the 199, but he is way far back. Jokering is Ragster. He comes out nowhere close to McFarlane. Final corner for Francois Martel. He will win number 11 in supercars and tie himself with Jake Robichaux for 7th on the wins list. The French-Canadian does it again, ahead of McFarlane, ahead of Ragster. Clog off the podium.
Grove on Winecki.
Grove versus Winecki. Final corner for the sportsman win. Matty Grove nearly hits the wall.
You run it wide. It's going to be a drag race.
Drag race at the line. Off the road is Winecki. Grove gets its 2nd win of the season for Matthew Grove in the 472.
Good race. Awesome race, Cody.
Confirmation of the results.
Wow, that was great, guys. Super fun.
Francois Martel, Evan McFarlane, Sabian Ragster, your podium. Clog, Crosgrove, Kirtley, Matthew Grove winning in sportsman ahead of Cody Winecki, Matthew Morris, and Steve Angie in the 10th spot. Quick confirmation of the rest of the results. Alex Abetti 11th, 12th Russell Peterson, 13th Olivier Rateau, 14th Robichaux, 15th Hartley, 16th Wetz, 17th Dubois, 18th Rakowski, and 19th Benjamin Gay. Certainly some shakeups. What's interesting is both second place cars, or both points basically leaders, did not make the feature this evening. Abetti didn't, and nor did Gay. So shakeups in the championship for sure.
Yeah, definitely, Josh. I didn't think I'd be saying that Martel would be coming out of this round with an 18-point lead. Did you?
No, but the French-Canadian, unofficially, will hold
it wouldn't be 18. Sorry, it'd be 14.
It'd be certainly somewhere up there, though, with Abetti not making the feature and Magnus not being here. So, wow. As, let's trying to bring everyone into the media pen, gather everybody up for the interviews here. As first, let's see. We'll bring in Matthew Grove, our sportsman race winner this evening. My friend, it is your 2nd win on the season, and with Benjamin not making the feature, how you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing, guys. This is great. Only being my 2nd season in NASA, I didn't think I'd ever be out here pulling sportsman's wins. I just surely didn't think I would be making features. Hats off. I just want to thank my teammates. I also want to send a big shout out to NASA, www.nasasimracing.com. Come check us out. Also, a big shout out to ASN for the broadcast, all the boys in the booth, my teammates again, Ebensburg Yamaha, my wife and kids especially for putting up with me, putting time into the sim rig, and just everybody, the Lord above, for blessing me with being able to do this. It's a great time.
Obviously I don't know your house situation, whether they're upstairs, downstairs, across the house. I didn't want to call you out because last time I did, you didn't make the feature. You made the feature for the wife and kids. So great run, my friend, and we will see you next week in Daytona.
Thank you, guys. We're looking forward to seeing you. Slaypex will be there bringing the heat.
So we'll bring in our 3rd place man, Sabian Ragster, and we'll have Cody Erdmann handle this one. Cody, all yours.
Hey there, Sabian. Got us?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Talk us through your race there. Started off with a little bit of a chaotic start, but nothing too bad.
Yeah, that was an absolutely crazy start. It was a very fun race for me, especially going from, I think I was 3rd, dropping down to 5th in the first corner, then going back up to second or third with all the cars flipping and stuff around me. So it was awesome.
Uh, did you have a strategy set for the Jokers? Because the Joker is such a crucial point, being a 9-second delta. Did you have kind of a strategy set, or did you kind of go with what the cards gave you?
The only strategy we had was to not screw each other within the team, and we ended up doing that a little bit because Steve got into the incident and his car was like crabbing sideways, and he ended up holding me up. So I think I actually could have been second, but yeah, we were just trying to not get in each other's way, and I guess from that perspective in the Joker it worked out.
Well, good points day for you is the second place in points. Didn't make it, so you should, I believe, will be P2 in points. So good
Oh
points
my
day for
God.
you. And
Unofficially, you are in third in points. You're 27 behind Francois, but
oh yeah, it's updated. My bad.
yeah, it's third in points. So Pudgy's 2 and 3 in the drivers' championship.
That is so cool. I just really want to thank Team Pudgies for bringing me on. It's just been incredible. I mean, we all qualified within 1/10 of a second of each other. We practiced together, an awesome group of guys out there.
As we appreciate you running here each and every week, and hopefully we'll see you on the podium next week.
Thank you guys.
As I did not see Josh's wizardry in our points.
Oh, you don't understand what happens like after these races. Everyone's like, you're like a robot, dude. I have a process that's 10 years old. I key everything in. It's pretty instant. Evan McFarland, second place, man. Philip Kraus, all yours.
Howdy do, Evan. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Yeah. Good race today, but it just seemed like you didn't really have the pace to challenge Francois in the 12 today. Obviously, you were pole and seating, won your heat. We're leading the feature for a little bit, but it seemed to fall apart as the race went on. How was it for you just from the car?
The car felt good, honestly. Just later in the race, I just started slowing down. Maybe from contact with Francois, but yeah, he just had the pace over me, and it was a good race. He definitely deserved that. He's pulling away from me.
Yeah, I was mentioning it during the race. I wasn't sure like if you had slowed down because you realized you weren't going to catch Francois and you were just settling for second, or if that was just all you had in reserves in the 04 car for you today. Because I know you qualified on like I think it was a 35.5 or something insane. Like you had a few tenths on the field, but it didn't seem like that pace really carried over to the feature.
Yeah, I really put like a lot on the line for qualifying and just the heats in practice. You know, I was practicing like 2 or 3 hours before. That might have affected me, but yeah, just I knew qualifying and track position was going to be really important, so I focused a lot on that, and the feature kind of came back to bite me. So I mean, yeah, and then heat one, yeah. Yeah, I like to say sorry to Betty. I think I came up a little bit and then just netcode finishes, and I think I just kind of fucked his championship a little bit. So sorry about that.
Yeah, I'll have to check that back because my goldfish brain actually forgot that you two had an incident in the first heat. But yeah, anyone you'd like to thank? This is your joint best result in NASA Rallycross, second place again for you. I think it's the second time you've gotten it, and it's back-to-back races.
Yeah, I'm happy, but I think I could have won. But I'd like to thank KS Industries, Pit Viper, OMP, Marlin Sports, Malin, Robbie Lareal. He helps me a lot. You know, he gave me the training wheels, and I was able to kind of just learn off of that. VSC, Vermont Sports Car, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, honestly, looking forward to seeing you through the rest of the season. You've gotten so much quicker in the time I've known you, and that's not been very long. And I think with the results you've been building these last few weeks, you're going to be knocking on the door of a win sooner than you think.
Yep, thank you.
As the man of the hour, the fourth win out of 5 races makes him tied for 7th all-time on the wins list with Jake Robertson. Interesting, fun little stat fact. Ford has finally, after 11 years, tied Volkswagen with 20 wins each out of 241 races. Let's put 2 and 2 together and figure out who's won the rest. But Francois, a crazy evening tonight. Alex didn't make the feature. You had a battle with Evan. Talk me through your race.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that anything can happen in NASA Rallycross. I don't know if you heard that.
I don't think I've heard that ever.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start that. Yeah, so obviously, like it sucks that what happened to Alex. But yeah, like this is such a tight place. Do you want me to talk about the future or?
Whatever you want, my friend. The whole thing. What do they say? The stage is yours.
Yeah, like some part of my brain wanted me to do a trick that I use in turn 1. Usually, if you pull the handbrake and you're on the outside, you can put the nose inside to block the person. But I decided to take the points. And then I was sure that the Pudgy's car would block me. I took the Joker right away. And after my Joker, like, I didn't know where everybody was. I was like super cautious in the Joker not to smash into a car that would be in front of me, but there was no car. So, like, that was awesome.
As unofficially, before we let you go, you have a 13-point lead over a Betty in the championship. I know you might have touched on it just earlier, but what's the mindset crossing the halfway point, especially not to bring it back up, but the DQ and Brands Hatch, you've won every other race. It sounds silly. Is the goal just to not worry about the championship and win, or what's your thoughts there?
Yeah, I'm heartbroken that I didn't beat Jacob Raffles. He had like a streak, so I'm really disappointed that I didn't beat it, but right now, I'm just focusing on getting the maximum amount of points in the asphalt rounds. I know that the endurance rounds might be tougher, so I'm just focused on that. I love Daytona. I love Iowa. I'm happy, so.
As before, the question that we all know the answers to, Phil or Cody, you got anything for our race winner?
Can you stop winning races? We want to ask someone else how they feel after they won a race. Nah, I'm kidding. Good job, man.
It doesn't get old to win, so I'm not stopping.
Yeah, just
Josh, you're gonna run out of trophies to give this guy if he keeps winning.
He's gonna start taking mine at this point. Cody, go ahead.
Yeah, just congratulations, Francois. And yeah, stop winning because you're gonna start knocking us 3 out. You're gonna be the top of the leaderboard here shortly. The way you're going.
That would be insane.
You got a long way to go.
I can't believe Josh just announced that the lights wins are going to count towards the lead.
Oh yeah,
towards the stats.
So it sounds really terrible and self-centered. I did that, so yeah, like I've won something. Yay, I'm not stuck at 40. But at this point, I think Francois might pass me if I count both series. So we'll just have to wait and see. And finally, Francois. Jokingly, we know the answer, but who'd you like to thank for your 4th win out of 5 races?
Yeah, teamwatsonracing.com. Get my setup, and you guys are awesome, as always.
And thank you, my friend. We'll see you next week in Daytona.
Bye.
Wow. So let's close this show up. We'll take a look at the results once again, just confirmation. As Francois Martel has won, as we're going to take a look at results or points. I don't know what we're doing. I guess we're looking at points now. So the Drivers' Championship, Francois Martel, 112 over Alex Abetti with 99. Ragster moves up to 3rd. McFarland and Okenhaug. And Hartley, I don't know if that's right because Okenhaug didn't race at all and scored no points. So let me take a look on mine. Martel, Abetti, Ragster, McFarland, Okenhaug. How did that even happen? Clog, Angie, Crosgrove, and Grove rounding out the top 10. Sportsman Cup, Matthew Grove, 4 points over Benjamin Gay. I don't think that's up. It's all broken. So
off of your points, Josh, Hartley's on 69 and behind Okenhaug as well.
I don't understand what's happening. Welcome to NASA Rallycross. Let's go over a couple programming notes before we button this guy up. The 5th round of NASA Rallycross Lights from here in Atlanta took place yesterday. You'll see that coverage on Saturday. We've moved the Lights races to Saturdays now. It'll be July 22nd on ASN on demand. You'll join myself, Bryan Sawyer, for that one. Round 2 of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge will be in Sebring. That's next Thursday, the 27th, on ASN Live. Myself, Justin Robichaux, and Bryan Sawyer for that one. And then round 6 of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge will be at the World Center of Racing, the Daytona International Speedway, next Monday, the 24th of July on ASN Live, 9 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Philip Kraus, Cody Erdmann, and Bryan Sawyer for that one. Just a reminder, our series brought to you by Overwatch Specialty Service. The only thing more unique than your problem is our solution. For more information, visit osscenter.com. Thank you so much to Rob Hartland for your continued support of NASA Sim Racing. Our coverage tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Thirdly, our cameras for the entire season are provided by TrackCams22.com. And finally, our intro music was produced by our very own Alex Abedi. Grab some final thoughts and call it an evening here at Atlanta. Cody Erdmann, you first.
As I think the start of that feature was a little bit less chaotic than we were expecting, especially after that first LCQ. But overall, very good races we tend to have here at Atlanta once we get rolling, once we get through turn 1. So looking forward to Daytona and the chaos that course brings. So it's going to be a good season.
Bill?
Yeah, we got lucky there in the feature. There was contact between McFarlane and Martel, and that could have become a lot worse than it was. But yeah, one thing we haven't mentioned: the Endurance Cup's coming up. We know that's what Josh Klug is looking at and licking his chops to get his season back on track, because he's 7th in points right now, tied with Hartley on 69. But I mean, I think realistically, a chance of the championship's over for him, but he can still get up to 3rd, maybe even 2nd if he has a really good run through the Endurance Cup. And I think his goal this season, probably just to win the Endurance Cups outright.
As he did win the last Endurance Cup race in Crandon, not because he's my car, but Magnus has been really confident over those next couple of races as well in Bark River and in Wild Horse. So that's going to be a wild card for the entire grid, like it always has been. What could have been for Steve Angie if the man from New York didn't have the issue in car number 7. He finished in last, the only car off of the lead lap. Crazy race. Francois wins. Evans getting close, and the points lead has flipped again. And Grove loved it because Gay had a terrible race this evening. The checkered flag falls on the evening. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Philip Kraus, Cody Erdmann, and Bryan Sawyer, my name is Josh Mertz, as we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge tonight from Atlanta. Congratulations to Francois Martel, and be sure to join us Saturday evening for lights. But until then, so long, everyone.